Okay, so here is a live demo for our first lesson in 1-point perspective. And these are the tools you're going to need. You're going to need a ruler, a pencil, an eraser, and your grid paper. The grid paper is available to download in Google Classroom, but if you're coming face-to-face, you will get a sheet handed to you. The first thing you're going to need to do is to draw a horizon line on your grid paper. You want it to be as close to the middle of the paper as possible. So if you don't feel confident just drawing your line on your grid paper, you can take your ruler, find a place you want to draw your line, line your ruler up, and then draw it. And for the sake of this, I'm going to be using a permanent marker so you can see it better. Alright, so there is my horizon line. After drawing your horizon line, you need to put down your vanishing point, which has to be on the horizon line and nowhere else. You can't put it here, you can't put it here, you can't put it here. It needs to be on the horizon line. And since we are working in 1-point perspective, we are only using one vanishing point. Your vanishing point shouldn't be too big or else your perspective will be off. So don't do something like this where you make a really big circle. Don't do that. Alright, so I'm going to put my vanishing point right here. As you can see, it's not too big and not too small. It's a little off center, but that's okay. After establishing the horizon line and the vanishing point, we can begin drawing our first rectangle or square anywhere on the page. We're going to also call this the front side of our shape, and I'm going to use a different color. For ease, I'm going to draw mine on the left side, and you don't need a ruler because you can use these guidelines to help you. You can use a ruler, but you won't need one if you trace the lines. So now I have my first shape. It's a little crooked, but that's all right. Now you're going to draw your vanishing lines from each corner of your shape to the vanishing point with your ruler. You need to use a ruler for this part. These vanishing lines don't go anywhere except to the vanishing point. They don't go below the vanishing point, they don't go above the vanishing point, but they go to and through the vanishing point. So we're going to line it up like this. And I think I'll use another different color. This, we make sure that our ruler goes through our vanishing point. So that's the first one. Second one. Third. And we're just going to go ahead and get this one too. So we're that much closer to a three-dimensional shape. Now you're going to determine the depth of your first shape by connecting your vanishing lines with a vertical line. This vertical line is always going to be parallel with the sides of your shapes. Make sure you connect the two vanishing lines that belong to the same side. So remember, since we're using these grid lines, it should be really easy for you to make a straight line. If you take your ruler, hold it up against the edge of the front side of your shape, and you pull it back, you'll be able to get a straight line. If your ruler at any point does this, that means it's gonna be crooked. Keep it vertical. That's the rule. Keep it vertical. So I'll go ahead and do my sides. There's my first one. And now you want to make sure that when you do the bottom of the shape, it lines up with this one, meaning it has to touch corner to corner with the vertical line that you drew. And it's okay if you don't get a perfect one like this. Just move it. Make sure you do this right here. Move it down. Just like this. Ta-da! So here's some things to remember when doing 1-point perspective. All vertical lines stay vertical. All horizontal lines stay horizontal. These down here are always going to be horizontal. These to the side are always going to be vertical. And your assignment is you're going to be making 6 boxes up here and 6 boxes down here. Any box that is above the horizon line, you're going to see the side and the bottom of. Anything that is below the horizon line, you're going to see the top and the side. Sometimes you might just see the top, and sometimes you might just see the bottom. But you're never going to see all of the sides at once. So I'm going to do a couple more just to make sure that you understand it. And I'm going to do it with pencil so I can show you what it looks like when you erase these right here. I'll go from the bottom. So we have to do our shape, which is going to be a square. Well, it's looking more like a long rectangle. That's okay. Okay, so we got our shape. Then we draw our lines from each corner of our shape to the vanishing point. Use a ruler for this one. Remember, it goes through the vanishing point. It doesn't go above the vanishing point. It doesn't go below the vanishing point. It goes through the vanishing point. Okay, that's our second step. Now we have to decide the depth. How wide is this shape going to be? And of course, we're going to use a vertical line for this side and a horizontal line for the top side. So I'm going to put mine here. Oh, it went a little past where it was supposed to go. Oh, wait, no, it didn't. Or did it? And if you want to make sure you've got your shape completely right, you can actually make it a see-through box by putting a horizontal line here. I'm going to need my ruler for this. And a vertical line here. Now I have a see-through box. Then you're going to erase your vanishing lines. I'm gonna need a smaller eraser. just like that. Very easy. So, to remind you, you're going to need 6 boxes above the horizon line and 6 boxes below the horizon line. Use pencil. Do not use marker. Don't color it in. Just give me boxes like this. Make sure you use the grid lines to help you keep your line straight. Don't draw too hard. It's going to be hard to erase if you draw really hard. Okay, so after you've done this assignment, you're going to move on to your next assignment, which is you're going to draw a star in 1-point perspective. The star sheet looks like this. This is already going to be here for you. The vanishing point is already going to be here. The horizontal line is already going to be here. All you have to worry about is turning this 3-dimensional. It's very easy. Since this is a shape with many points and corners, you need to make sure all of them go to the vanishing point. Ta-da! Star. Very neat, very cool.